From an overlooked kid in Porto to an Anfield hero, this is the story of Diogo Jota. His journey has been a masterclass in resilience, clutch goals, and proving people wrong. He's a quiet assassin, a player whose brilliance on the pitch speaks volumes. This isn't just a story of goals and glory, but one of relentless determination, of overcoming setbacks that would have broken lesser spirits. It's a story of a dream forged on the streets of Porto and realised on the biggest stages in world football. We remember the moments, the goals,
Diogo Jota is on hand to score.
And the fight. We remember the player. This is the story of Diogo Jota. Every great journey has a beginning. For Diogo José Teixeira da Silva, that place was Massarelos, a parish in the heart of Porto, Portugal. Born on December 4th, 1996, he grew up in a city that lives and breathes football. It was in this environment, surrounded by an almost religious passion for the game, that a young Diogo first kicked a ball. Like so many kids in Portugal, his football education started on the streets. It was there that the raw materials of the player he would become were first moulded. He was often small for his age, overlooked by scouts from the big academies who seemed to prize size above all else. But what he lacked in stature, he more than made up for in intelligence, a low centre of gravity that made him a nightmare to dispossess, and a burning desire to win. His first organised football was with Gondomar SC, a modest club on the outskirts of Porto. From 2005 to 2013, he honed his craft in their youth system, away from the intense spotlight of a top-tier academy. There, he was allowed to experiment, to fail, and to grow. He learned to use his brain to outwit bigger opponents, developing the uncanny sense of positioning and intelligent movement that would become his trademark. He wasn't always the fastest or flashiest player, but he was often the smartest. Still, the dream for any boy in Porto is to play for one of the city's giants. Despite his clear talent, the call from FC Porto or Boa Vista never came. He was repeatedly told he was too small. For many young players, that string of rejections could have been the end. For Diogo, it just added fuel to the fire. If the front door was closed, he was determined to find another way in. That other way appeared in 2013, in the form of FC Paços de Ferreira. They saw what the bigger clubs had missed, a footballer's mind in a young boy's body. They saw the hunger and the tactical intelligence. They offered him a place in their youth setup, a chance to prove that talent isn't measured in centimetres. The move to Paços was more than just a change of clubs. It was a validation. Someone finally believed in him. The boy from Massarelos packed his bags, left Porto behind, and set out to prove everyone wrong. Making the jump from youth football to the pros is a huge leap that has swallowed up countless promising talents. For a 17-year-old Diogo Jota, promoted to the Paços de Ferreira senior squad for the 2014-15 season, this was the ultimate test. He was a boy stepping into a man's world, but what happened next announced the arrival of a special kind of player. The date was October 19th, 2014. Paços de Ferreira were playing a cup match against a lower league side. The manager, Paulo Fonseca, made a bold call and handed Jota his senior debut in the starting lineup. In front of his home crowd, the kid who was playing U19 football just months earlier was leading the line. Fonseca's faith was rewarded. Paços cruised to a 4-0 victory, and Jota scored his first ever senior goal, a statement that he had arrived. His first taste of top-flight league football came on February 20th, 2015. He was slowly being integrated into the squad. Then came May 17th, 2015. With Paços at home against Academica, Jota, still just 18, was in the starting 11. He didn't just play, he dominated. He scored twice to secure a thrilling 3-2 victory. With that brace, he etched his name into the club's history books. becoming the youngest player to ever score for Paços de Ferreira in the top division. The secret was officially out. By the end of that month, the club moved quickly to sign him to a new 5-year contract. It was a clear signal of their belief in him, but everyone knew it was only a matter of time. Jota's talent was too big for Paços de Ferreira to contain. The 2015-16 season was his true explosion. No longer just a promising youngster, he was the team's focal point. He played with a maturity that belied his age, combining a relentless work rate with lethal finishing, reportedly racking up 14 goals across all competitions. His versatility and eye for goal made him one of the most talked about talents in Portugal. The giants of European football were now paying very close attention. In the summer of 2016, the inevitable happened. Atletico Madrid, one of the titans of Spanish football, came calling. Under the demanding leadership of Diego Simeone, Atleti had forged an identity as a team of warriors. For a player like Jota, defined by his intelligence and work rate, it seemed like a perfect match. On July 6, 2016, the deal was done. Jota signed a 5-year contract with the Madrid club. For a teenager from a provincial Portuguese club, this was the dream move. He was joining a team that had just contested the Champions League final, a squad filled with world-class players. However, the dream quickly met a harsh reality. Simeone's Atletico was a notoriously difficult team for new, young players to break into. The system was complex, the demands were immense, and Simeone preferred seasoned professionals who understood his rigid tactical philosophy. Jota, for all his talent, was still a raw 19-year-old. The club decided his development would be better served with guaranteed playing time elsewhere. So, just as quickly as he arrived, he was sent on a season-long loan. The destination? Back to his hometown to play for FC Porto. After being overlooked by the club as a boy, he was now returning to wear the famous blue and white stripes. While the Atletico chapter was brief and unfulfilling, with 0 competitive first-team appearances, it opened the door to another dream. It was a crucial detour that sent him back to Portugal with a point to prove. Returning to Porto for the 2016-17 season was a homecoming charged with significance. This was the city where he grew up, the club that had once seemed an unattainable dream. He was there to prove his worth, not just to Atletico Madrid, but to the footballing establishment in his own hometown that had overlooked him. He was now playing under a manager who had become a pivotal figure in his career, Nuno Espirito Santo. Nuno saw a player who perfectly fit his vision, dynamic, intelligent, and with a cutting edge. At Porto, Jota made his Champions League debut on September 14, 2016, a lifelong dream realised. He quickly showed he belonged, scoring in a group stage win over Club Bruges. Throughout the season, he became a key component of Nuno's side. While not always a guaranteed starter, his impact was undeniable. In some 38 appearances across all competitions, he contributed a respectable tally of around 9 goals and 7 assists, proving he could produce in a high-pressure environment. The season at Porto was a success on a personal level. He had proven he could handle the step up to a major club, and had experienced Champions League football. As the loan ended, his future was once again uncertain. But his year at Porto had solidified his bond with his manager. When Nuno departed for an ambitious new project in England, he knew exactly which player he wanted to build his team around. The year at Porto had forged the connection that would lead to the most transformative move of his career. In the summer of 2017, a bold project was taking shape in England. Wolverhampton Wanderers, a historic club in the English Championship, had a new manager, Nuno Espirito Santo, and a clear vision: get to the Premier League.
What we ask from the fans, we should deserve the support. What I promise is hard work, and what we ask is total support.
At the top of his transfer list was Diogo Jota. On July 25, 2017, Jota joined Wolves on a season-long loan. For many, it was a curious move. A player with Champions League experience dropping down to the notoriously grueling English second tier. But Jota saw the bigger picture. This wasn't a step down. It was a calculated move to a club on the rise, led by a manager who believed in him uncascending. From the very beginning, it was clear he was a class above. He scored his first goal on August 15th in a win against Hull City and never looked back. The physicality of the league proved to be no obstacle. His intelligence, quick feet, and tenacious work rate made him a nightmare for defenders. He was the catalyst for Nuno's attacking side, firing in 17 league goals to finish as the club's top scorer. Wolves didn't just win the league, they stormed it, securing promotion back to the Premier League. Jota's contribution was so immense that making his move permanent was a formality. On January 30th, 2018, long before the season was over, Wolves announced they had triggered a permanent deal for a reported 14 million euros. He wasn't just a loanee who helped them get there. He was the man they were building their Premier League future around. The gamble on Wolves had paid off spectacularly. The boy from Porto had become a king in the Black Country. Most newly promoted teams are tipped for an immediate return to the Championship, but the Wolves team that entered the 2018-19 Premier League season, spearheaded by Jota, was different. Any doubts about whether Jota could make the step up were quickly erased. He adapted to the Premier League with seamless intelligence. His incredible work rate became even more important as he harried defenders and won the ball back high up the pitch, making him the perfect modern forward for the highest level. A landmark moment came in January 2019 against Leicester City. Jota delivered a performance for the ages, scoring a sensational hat-trick to secure a dramatic 4-3 victory. With that, he joined an exclusive club, as only the second Portuguese player at the time, after Cristiano Ronaldo, to score a Premier League hat-trick. Wolves finished their first season back in an incredible 7th place, qualifying for the UEFA Europa League. The following season, Jota took his game to another level on the European stage. On December 12, 2019, against Besiktas, he came on as a substitute and proceeded to score a stunning 12-minute hat-trick. It was another display of his explosive, game-changing ability. Over 2 seasons, Jota had established himself as one of the most exciting forwards in England, and now, the biggest clubs in the country were taking notice. In the summer of 2020, Liverpool were champions of England. Their front three of Salah, Mane and Firmino was arguably the most feared attack on the planet. So, when Liverpool announced the signing of Diogo Jota from Wolves for a reported £41 million, some questioned the move. The consensus was that he was signed as a high-quality backup. Jurgen Klopp saw something more. He saw a pressing monster whose intelligence, versatility and clinical finishing were tailor-made for his system. Jota's impact was immediate. He made his debut on September 28, 2020 against Arsenal, and it took him just 8 minutes to score his first goal. A historic moment came in the Champions League against FC Midtjylland, when he scored what was reported by the club's historians as the 10,000th goal in Liverpool's entire history. The crowning moment of his incredible start came on November 3, 2020, in a Champions League clash against Atalanta. Handed a start, Jota was unplayable, scoring a magnificent hat-trick in a stunning 5-0 victory. He was no longer just a backup. He was a genuine star who had added a new, unpredictable dimension to Liverpool's attack. His ability to score with his left foot, right foot, and his head made him the complete goal-scoring threat. The transfer some had questioned was already looking like a stroke of genius. For a player who relies on explosive energy, the shadow of injury is a constant threat. Jota's time at Liverpool, while filled with brilliant highs, has also been marked by frustrating and painful setbacks.
Liverpool are awaiting scan results to discover whether forward Diogo Jota has suffered a recurrence of a hamstring injury. The Portugal international suffered the problem in the Nations League game against Switzerland last month.
The first major blow came in December 2020. Right in the middle of his sensational start, he suffered a knee injury that sidelined him for nearly 3 months. His absence was keenly felt, a testament to how quickly he had become essential. The pattern of brilliance followed by a breakdown would repeat itself in the most heartbreaking fashion in October 2022. Jota was in scintillating form for Liverpool and was set to be a vital part of Portugal's squad for the upcoming World Cup. Then, in a league match against Manchester City, he went down with a severe calf injury. The diagnosis was devastating. He would miss the World Cup. It was a huge personal blow for a player who had worked his entire life for that opportunity. Yet, his spirit never broke. He endured another grueling rehabilitation and returned to action in February 2023. The 2023-24 season, however, proved to be his most challenging yet, marked by frustrating, recurring injuries that tested his resolve to its limits. Through it all, Jota has faced the mental challenges with incredible professionalism and fortitude. The injuries may have robbed him of time, but they have never robbed him of his fight. For any Portuguese footballer, pulling on the red and green of the Seleção is the ultimate honour. For Diogo Jota, his international career is a source of immense pride, a journey that has seen him become one of the nation's most important forwards. His senior debut came in November 2019, a reward for his spectacular form at Wolves. He was joining a golden generation of Portuguese talent, a squad filled with world-class players. His first international goal arrived on September 5, 2020, in a victory over Croatia. Jota quickly established himself as a key figure. His versatility was a manager's dream, and more importantly, he delivered goals. He was selected for the delayed Euro 2020 tournament, where he scored against Germany. By the time the 2022 World Cup came around, he was at the peak of his powers, making the calf injury that shattered his dream of playing in Qatar even more cruel. He fought back, as he always does, and re-established himself as a vital cog in the national team. During the qualifiers for Euro 2024, he scored twice in Portugal's historic 9-0 demolition of Luxembourg, the nation's biggest ever competitive win. With dozens of caps and a healthy goal tally for his country, his value goes far beyond the numbers. He is a trusted, intelligent, and hard-working forward who embodies the fighting spirit of the Seleção. How do you measure the legacy of a player like Diogo Jota? Is it in the goals? The 17 that fired Wolves back to the Premier League? The stunning hat-trick against Atalanta? Is it in the trophies he's won with Liverpool? Those moments and medals are a huge part of the story, but the true legacy of Diogo Jota lies in the quiet resilience that has defined his entire journey. It's in the spirit of a boy repeatedly told he was too small, who went on to score crucial goals on the biggest stages. It's in the mental fortitude of a man who has faced down devastating injuries and come back stronger each time. His legacy lives at Anfield, where he's become known as a clutch performer, the pressing monster who perfectly fits the club's ethos. It lives in the hearts of the Molineux faithful, who will forever remember him as the leader who brought them back to the promised land.
You know, when you came to a championship like this, of course you want to win, but you know that it's one of the hardest in the world, so we had that dream, we know that could happen. Fortunately for us it happened and we are so happy.
And it lives in his home country of Portugal, where he's admired as a warrior for the national team, a player who lets his football do the talking. He's the silent assassin. He doesn't crave the spotlight, but he owns the biggest moments. The story of Diogo Jota is still being written, but it's already a testament to the power of intelligence, hard work, and an unshakable belief in oneself.
You can count on me because now I'm one of them and I will give my best.
We hope you've enjoyed this look at the incredible career of Diogo Jota. His story is one of perseverance, talent, and unforgettable moments. What is your favourite Diogo Jota memory? Share it with us in the comments below. And if you want to see more stories about football's most iconic players, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.